This video lecture will be seeing the Biological Science Class 10 TS SSC Telangana State Board all answers of Part A. But before that, I would like to request you that as most of the students have doubts in clarifying their answers in other subjects, I would like to tell them that I have uploaded videos on English, Part A, Part B, then Social Studies, Part A, Part B, Maths, Bio, Physics, both Part A and Part B. So you can go and scroll through the playlist and watch it and get your answers clarified of the board exam 2022 if you have any doubts. So next, if you have not subscribed to our channel, I would request you to please subscribe to our channel, like this video, share this video, because you all know that video uploading and editing requires a lot of time and hard work. Okay, thank you. Now let us start our solutions. So the first question of class 10 general science biological science paper was, give two examples of plants that are propagated by the cutting method. So cutting method comes under artificial propagation. Okay, this is there in your textbook also. Okay, it's there on page number 119 of biological TS SCRT textbook. So the two plants which are propagated by cutting method are rose and hibiscus. Question 2. What happens if the food we eat is not a balanced diet? That is the question. If you don't eat balanced diet, what will happen? It's asking. So the answer to this question is, if the food we eat is not balanced, it will result in scarcity of nutrients. That is, you will get deficiency in nutrients, and that will affect the growth and health of the individual. If in long term, this person might develop deficiency diseases like Kwashiorkor disease or obesity in adults or Kwashiorkor disease in children. That is the answer. That will lead to deficiency diseases and affect the growth and health of individuals, and also scarcity of nutrients. These points you have to write for this answer. Okay, next question is question 3. Write any two materials needed for an experiment to examine a mammal hat. We know that this question is there in the chapter transportation. And transportation, yeah, we know that here heart, the activity's name is only to observe the structure of mammalian heart. So the answer is, the two materials needed for an experiment to observe mammalian heart are freshly collected specimen of heart of sheep and sharp and long blade scalpel. There are also some other materials which you might have written, which are there in the textbook. If you might have written there, then you'll get the full marks 2 out of 2 for this answer. You can go and refer page number 53 of the Biology TS SCRT textbook if you want to see the more answers. Question 4 is, write any two differences between photosynthesis and respiration. Now this question, remember, I also gave one day before Biology TS SSC board exam. I had forwarded a PDF on YouTube. So on that, in important questions, I had given this answer. So totally there are 10 to 11 points. From that you can write any 2 points, because it is just asking give two differences between photosynthesis or respiration, or you can write 4 points. Okay, so photosynthesis occurs in plants and some photosynthetic bacteria. Respiration occurs in non-living organisms. Photosynthesis takes place in presence of sunlight only. Respiration takes place throughout the day. A plant can survive without performing photosynthesis for a few days. No organism can survive without respiration even for a few minutes. In plants, only few cells perform this process. Respiration, all living cells in an organism perform this process. Or you can write these points also. Photosynthesis occurs in chloroplast and is dependent on plants. Respiration, aerobic respiration takes place in cytoplasm and mitochondria and is independent of light. Photosynthesis, light energy is fixed. Respiration, energy is released. Photosynthesis, raw materials are carbon dioxide and water. Respiration, raw materials are carbohydrates or organic substances and oxygen. Photosynthesis, oxygen is liberated. Respiration, oxygen is utilized. Photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is utilized. Respiration, carbon dioxide is released. Photosynthesis is an anabolic process. Respiration is a catabolic process. So you could have written any 2 points from this for answer number 4. Now question 5 is, write 2 questions that you will ask your teacher about the alkaloids. So the 2 questions that I will ask my teacher about alkaloids are, first question, how can we extract alkaloid from plants? What is an alkaloid used for? Okay, so apart from these, other questions also you can ask, but it should contain the word alkaloids in it, and it should be a sensible and logical question which you would have written. Okay, next question number 6 is, when cross is done between pure yellow and pure green pea seed producing plants, the following results were obtained. Capital Y is yellow and small y is green. Answer the questions given below based on the above table. So we know here that capital Y small y indicates which color of the seed. Okay, so capital Y small y means I have to say if it is this, then seed will be of which color that it is asking. So this is also there in the textbook. Okay, the table was there and it gave the answers also. See, this is the same table which he has asked, and it is asking the color of the YY seed. So see here, the answer is there. Capital Y small y will be yellow in color. Okay, that is the answer. Okay, and next question is, what is the phenotypic ratio of the above cross? So this question was also there. If you do the phenotypic ratio, the answer will be, you will get the phenotypic ratio is 3:1. This is also there in your textbook in the chapter Heredity and Evolution. Okay, so how are you getting 3:1? Because we have 4, right? YY, capital Y, small y, capital Y, and small y. We should know that here the trait which is dominating is capital Y color. So even if it's capital Y, it will be yellow in color. Capital Y, small y also yellow in color. Small y, capital Y also yellow in color. Why? Because the capital Y will be dominating here. So how many are they? They are 3. And how many will be? Small y means there is no capital Y which is dominating. It means that it is only 1. So what is the ratio, phenotypic ratio? 3 we have yellow and 1 we have green. So 3:1 is my phenotypic ratio. Next question. So I can write capital Y small y indicates yellow color of the seed, and the phenotypic ratio of the above cross is 3:1 as we saw. Second 2 4-mark questions. Any 2 you have to do, but we will be discussing all the questions. So question 7, draw the diagram of nerve cell and label it. Very easy and direct question. See, this is your nerve cell. Okay, it is there in the biology textbook on page number 96. These are my dendrites. This is nacelles, granules. This is your nucleus, cell body, Schwann cell, axon, node of Ranvier, myelin sheath, synaptic knob, and axon terminal. If you do all the labelings correctly, and also if you write nerve cell here, okay, then you will get full 4 marks for this question. Next question is, what happens if both kidneys fail completely in human beings? So the answer to this question is, complete and irreversible kidney failure is sometimes called end-stage renal disease, that is ESRD. If kidneys stop working completely, our body is filled with extra water and waste products. This condition is called uremia. That is the answer. And since it is a 4-mark question, I need to write the full explanation. So second point is, our hands or feet may swell. This is feet. T should come here. The person feels tired and weak because the body needs clean blood to function properly. Third point, the failure of kidneys leads to accumulation of poisonous waste in the body and leads to death. That is what happens when a person's both the kidneys are not working. Next question is question number 9. Explain the theory of inheritance of acquired characters with an example. So this question is also there in your textbook, okay, on page number 181 from the chapter Heredity and Evolution. So you should write the heading as Theory of Inheritance of Acquired Characters. And the first point which you see here is Jean-Baptiste Lamarck was the first person to propose the theory of evolution. Second point, he thought that at some point of time in the history, the size of giraffe was equal to size of deer. He thought that the size of giraffe was equal to size of deer. Then due to shortage of food material on the ground and to reach the lower branches of trees, giraffes started stretching their necks. So he thought like that. Actually, the size of the giraffe and neck were same. Giraffe and deer were same. But he thought that since the giraffe had to bend more, okay, on the ground to eat the food, because of that, the giraffes developed long necks. Then such characters that are developed during the lifetime of an organism are called acquired traits. Okay, you should write in points. Okay, number 1, first point, then second point, then third point. Like I have mentioned here now in the textbook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Then we have the fifth point. Lamarck proposed that the acquired characters are passed on to its offspring, that is to the next generation, and proposed the theory of inheritance of acquired characters. Seventh point, for example, elongation of neck and forelimbs in giraffe. So it told explain with an example. Already example we are covering in these 7 points. So these 7 points were the answer for theory of inheritance of acquired characters. Next question is, write any 4 slogans for propaganda against female feticide. So for one slogan you will get 1 mark because slogan means you have to think and write. Okay. Any slogan which is catchy and which describes about female feticide you could have written and you would have got 4 full marks if you would have written all the 4 slogans. So we can write first, respect life, say no to female feticide. Second, female feticide is a heinous act, stopping it would be the best. Third, female feticide is anti-natural, opposite. Fourth, don't destroy life, stop female feticide. Apart from this, you could have also written some other, you'll get marks if it is correct. 11th question is, write the procedure and observations of the experiment to prove that oxygen is released during photosynthesis. Now in the PDF which I had uploaded before the board exam, in that I had also given this answer, important answer. Answer 11 was given, answer 12 was given, answer 13 was given. All 3 I told you to learn properly. Okay. 8 mark questions. So this is your experiment, okay, which shows that oxygen is produced during photosynthesis in the presence of light, or it is also called as hydrolysis funnel experiment. You have to write the aim to prove that oxygen is evolved during photosynthesis by hydrolysis funnel experiment. You have to draw the diagram. A plant is there, an inverted funnel is there, a beaker is there. You can show oxygen, oxygen bubbles, test tube, beaker, water, funnel and hydrolysis plant. Apparatus required is hydrolysis plant, beaker, test tube, funnel and water. Procedure, take some water plants and insert them into the narrow end of the funnel in such a way that the contents of hydrolysis plant must be in the narrow end of the funnel. Take a beaker with pond water, take some water plant hydrolysis and insert them into the narrow end of the funnel. Keep the wide housed portion of the funnel in the beaker containing water. Then a test tube is filled with water, carefully inverted near the narrow end of the funnel. Place the apparatus in the sunlight for at least 3 days. Fifth point, it is observed that the gas bubbles come from the cut ends of the hydrolysis plant. The bubbles are collected at the end of the test tube, displacing the water into the beaker. After sufficient gas is collected, the test tube is taken out of the beaker, carefully closing it with a thumb. So the observation which we see is when a glowing matchstick or an incense stick is introduced into the test tube, then it would burst into flames. So which gas proves that whenever we do this, the gas which is there is oxygen. Okay. So what do we do whenever we bring a glowing matchstick or incense stick, okay, near the test tube? Because it contains which bubbles? Oxygen bubbles. It would burst into flames. So this proves that oxygen is present in this experiment, and plants release oxygen during photosynthesis in the presence of light. That is what we observe. So result is what is same as aim. It is proved that oxygen is evolved during photosynthesis. Okay, so next question is, it's just told to write procedure and observations. But if you write aim, apparatus, procedure, observation, and result, it is best. Okay, because it is an 8-mark question. But still, if you have written observations and procedure, you can get marks. Okay. Next 12th question is, explain different steps in respiration in human beings. So the answer for this is there, here. So since it is an 8-mark question, you should write breathe. You should draw this, and after that what you do is, separately you write, if you write like this, breathing, and then you write air movement into and out of the lungs below the breathing. Then second point, gaseous exchange at lungs level, exchange of gases between alveoli and blood. Third one, gas transport by blood. This fourth, fifth, and you can also write these points also. Then you would have got 8 marks. Just if you draw this, if you explain this, if you write all these points, you'll get 8 marks. Okay, this also I told in the PDF one day before the exam. Next 13th question is, what is a cardiac cycle? Explain the steps involved in it. So this is our cardiac cycle. Okay, you should write all the points. Okay, it is on page number 58 of the textbook. Totally 5 points are there which explain the steps. You can also draw the diagrams. Okay, for drawing diagrams you will get 2 marks, and for writing the procedure you will get 6 marks. So 6 plus 2, 8. Totally 5 diagrams are there and 5 steps are there. Sorry, one second. See, these are your answer. This is your answer till here. Okay, this is your answer. See, cardiac cycle. Next question is question number, last question, question number 14. Analyze the information given below. Write answers to the question given below. Hormones are there and uses are there. The first question is, what are phytohormones? Write the names of 2 phytohormones. So it is there in the textbook, this answer. See, the hormones present in the plants are called phytohormones. Phyto means plants, that control responses towards the stimulus mentioned above. Phytohormones coordinate activities of the plant, usually by controlling one or the other aspect of the growth of plant. Okay, these 2 points if you would have written for first bit, that is what are phytohormones, that is enough. Then 2 examples also it is telling you to write for phytohormones. Either you could have written auxins and cytokinins, or you could have written gibberellins or ethylene. From these 4 you could have written any 2 examples for the first one, examples of phytohormones. Okay, next bit is second bit, which hormone is responsible for closing of stomata and which hormone acts against it. So from the table we can get the information for this answer. Is responsible for closing of stomata, you can see here the hormone responsible for closing of stomata is abscisic acid. So you should write abscisic acid for this. Then it is also asking which hormone acts against it. So here it is written, closing of stomata, opposite is opening of stomata. So which hormone is acting against abscisic acid? Cytokinin. So what you could have written, the hormone which acts against the abscisic acid is cytokinins. Okay, these 2 are there in the second bit. Third bit is, what are the functions performed by abscisic acid? So already functions are written here. See, uses or functions both mean the same. Abscisic acid, the functions the functions performed by abscisic acid are closing of stomata, seed dormancy, promoting aging of leaves, that you could have written. Fourth bit is, which hormone helps in the growth? So which hormones helps in the growth? Auxins help in the growth. Okay, then ethylene helps in growth, gibberellins help in growth, and also cytokinins helps in growth. Okay, so these 4 you could have written, auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, and ethylene. Okay, these were the answers for the part A biology Telangana SSC board examination, which was conducted in May 2022. Hope you have found this video helpful. Please share this video with your friends so that they will also know the answers. Thank you very much for watching. Please like this video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. May God help you all and may God help you to pass this exam with flying colors.